DIScontent is your content, and it's our content. I'm the big guy. That's Scotty Bender.
Good morning, afternoon, wherever you are.
We're doing this again.
Can we start over?
No. Scotty, hot topic, billionaire Elon Musk and Donald Trump. What do you think? What's going on?
Well, you know what? I've just recently heard something. It's the left. They're always trying to cook up something, or they're always trying to cause friction. Now they're saying, that Elon Musk is really the president, and he's behind what Trump, and it's just nonsense. I mean, they'll do anything or say anything to just cause, again, friction, or just try to work a wedge in between the Republican Party. I mean, I don't buy it.
So what is Elon's role? Because it does seem to the observer that he is doing stuff here. I mean, he tried to change the way Congress voted on that bill for the budget.
Mm-hmm. Well, changes are needed, so if he's coming in, if his ideas and his recommendations make sense, then so be it. But the idea that he's running the country and that Trump's his puppet is absolutely ridiculous.
It's not normal.
No, but I don't think what we've gone through the last 4 years is normal. I think it's again, we need change, and and maybe we have to look outside the box here. We can't just go with the same old, and maybe he'll come in and shake things up. But I don't have a problem with him. Like that lady, I don't know, that lady in Congress with the blue hair, that wacko. I mean, who the hell voted her in? I mean, come on, that's a whole different conversation.
But she was voted.
Yes, she was,
and she's an American citizen.
Yes.
Eligible to hold office.
Yes.
Elon, not so. But
I've got to believe this. He's got more just
Nazi blood in his veins.
No. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he's not a Nazi.
I just said in his veins. His family's Nazis.
Well, maybe, again, it's his family. I mean, it does, because his family may have roots or traces of that, doesn't mean he is. I mean, right? I mean, we're all not, I don't know what to say about that. You gotta be careful. We talk about Nazis, and I know. I got to hold my thoughts. You know what I mean? It's all.
There's not a lot you could say to that.
No. I'm just gonna say no. He's not Nazi.
There was a big profile about Elon that came out this week by Seth Abramson,
mm-hmm.
who has been doing a biography on Elon. He's written more about Elon's past
mm-hmm.
than probably anyone. This is an exhaustive, detailed look at his life and how he has maneuvered his way into different companies, gained control, and also how he's kind of hidden his family's past and their ties and their different unmentionables,
mm-hmm.
if you will.
But just to that point, I am sure if we dug deep into, I'm just going to throw a name out there, Nancy Pelosi and her history, her father's connections, mafia, Baltimore, the crooked politics. I am sure, I even heard, I think one time they said Biden's, his roots, his family roots they were slave owners. So, I mean, we can really dive deep on a lot when we start going into our family ancestry and find a lot of things. I could very well, who the hell knows? I mean, you could find things about me that my ancestries could have been this, that, or the other thing. So I don't know. I'm only judging him by the man he is now. Yeah, maybe he's maneuvering up. He's a smart man, and he's done a lot of good things. And, the things he has done, with his satellites and helping the hurricane victims.
Yeah,
and
you're making points about ancestry and ancient history, but his father's still alive, and this was recent.
Well, what did his father do?
Well, you know about apartheid in South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. He was one of the main guys, proponents of that.
So let's just think about that for a second. So okay, apartheid absolutely is wrong, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend that, but
Stevie Wonder made a song about it.
He did.
Wow.
Okay.
It's wrong.
I'm not I don't know all his songs. I know a couple of Stevie Wonder songs, but
It's on the same record as Part-Time Lover.
oh,
Yeah,
I like that.
and Square Circle.
I like Part-Time Lover. Okay,
that's a good one.
yes. So let's go back. So that, all right. Apartheid was part of that culture, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right that it was, but that was part of their culture for years and years and years. And that's just how people sometimes they get brought up, and that's just how that was. I don't know how to explain it. I that was part of the culture, and yeah, the culture finally did change. But I'm not going to hold him against him because that was the way he was brought up through generations of that is something that's been going on for decades, and it's just I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying that I'm not going to hold it against him. That.
And I know what you're saying. My counterpoint would be if you grew up in that,
Yep.
and you were a part of that on like a daily basis, like Elon would have been.
Yep.
Like he would have seen it. He would have been right there in it. I think he would have come up with very strong opinions against it.
Right. All right.
And you would know he'd be against it, and you would see him doing everything he could to promote equality and all these different things. That's not what you see from Elon. In fact, he, just from his Twitter history and what he promotes on Twitter, you can definitely trace him to neo-Nazis. This is not like, we're just spouting off at the lip and shooting off at the hip. And, you can see his Twitter history and what he's done. That is the concern with Elon.
So the concern is that he's racist and he's going to take us down a racist path. I'm trying to follow.
White nationalist would be the concern.
White nationalist.
So he's for the advancement of white people, right? He's for he wants more white people to have children, right?
Okay.
He's constantly talking about white people need to have more kids. He fears for the day that the white people will be the minority, right?
Okay.
That's one of his things.
But I got to believe, though, if you asked a majority of people, maybe that, on the street, I'm just going to say, I got to eventually believe that people would say, there's this concern. If you ask some older folks in our older generation, what do you think of, the white race, decreasing and going away? I got to tell you, they probably would be like, oh no, that's not good. Like, I don't know anyone would say, yeah, that's no big deal to stand behind your white race and want to, make it progressive. I don't know. I see it differently.
And let's just say, okay, to that, but now let's apply, now you're putting that thought into someone who has more money than anyone else in the world and also access to the office of the president. And that isn't a problem?
It's a problem if it's allowed to become a problem. So I'm hoping that maybe there's some checks and balances in place that will keep him in check and not let him get too powerful. You're right. Should he have more power than the president? Absolutely not. But I don't really have a problem with him. I'm trying to look at the good things he's done, and he's a very smart man. I mean, I'll give him, he's extremely intelligent, and but I'm not saying I'm looking at through different lenses that you are, but I don't see that, and yeah,
the power imbalance is kind of the point.
But and Trump's enamored with him, right? Trump loves him, so that's a concern, right?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of concern there.
Yeah.
I feel like this is not the end of this topic. I mean, Trump isn't even in office yet. This is why maybe it's so alarming. Trump is not president yet, and we are already seeing Elon take a lot of influence. I mean, he was pretty much bullying members of Congress to vote his way on this spending bill. And it has a lot of people wondering what the future holds, but we're going to have to wait and see. So that is our hot topic. And now, Bender, What's happening, man?
What's happening? On a personal level, I know we talked last week. I had the colonoscopy this past week. I just want to let all our fans out there know. Thank you for your well wishes and everything. And everything went well. Yeah, it was covered by insurance. And yeah,
not denied.
No. And it was United Healthcare too, believe it or not. I know. I was crossing my fingers.
I almost said they dodged the bullet.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So I did want to mention we had some corrections to go over.
Okay.
Are
we being fact checked?
Yeah, we are being fact checked.
Okay.
I'm
sure they're my facts that were wrong.
Well, we haven't been fact checked for this episode yet.
Okay.
So, yeah. Now, first thing I want to say is in the very first episode, there was a moment when I said, "Can I be serious for a minute?"
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wasn't being serious when I said that.
Okay.
So that's the first.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure that our audience will forgive you for that. That's minor.
That was yeah.
People say it all the time.
Yeah. I did misspeak. We were talking about Sandy Hook, and I was talking about why I left Twitter. I misspoke and said that Sandy Hook, they were doing videos on Twitter about why it was real. The videos were why it was staged. So that was a big misspeak. It was the opposite order.
Yes. Well, we're just trying to keep everyone on their toes. Make sure they're listening. They're like, well, wait a minute, that didn't seem right. So
yeah,
we're just correcting
the record,
right?
The official record.
Absolutely right.
The Electoral College. We had a call about that.
I still don't get it, but yeah, sure.
We were mostly right. The start was 1787.
Oh,
we said 1800, so close. And the video, we said it was based on the number of population for the Electoral College, the number of votes per state.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually based on the number of representatives.
Oh, okay.
Now, however, the number of representatives in each state is based on population. So 1/2 of 6 is 6/2 of 9 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll correct that next week.
Okay.
And I think that catches us up. Did you have any corrections you wanted to make?
Probably. I just don't have them with me right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
So next week we got something.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe there's something. I did. We had a call last week about January 6th.
Oh yeah.
I did notice.
Biggest farce.
That is actually your trending topic for the week.
So here's what I'm not understanding. And again, please feel free to chime in, big guy. Now, I personally, I have my opinions about January 6th, and I'll let them out here. This is an inside job. I think it was perpetrated by the left to a certain degree. I'm not saying that the right didn't have their fair share of fault in this, but planting FBI agents not agents, but having these folks, these human contacts as they call them, in the crowd. The videos I've seen, I guess I don't understand how people are. How is the mainstream, any normal person looking at these videos and still saying that this was a whole Trump deal? They show these Capitol Police letting people in handcuffs and handcuffing them, letting them through, opening doors for these folks. So if there's such a grave concern, why was this being allowed? And we have all this video. I know Tucker Carlson back in the day had all this video and he got called out. And I'm not understanding why people aren't looking at this and saying this is a mess. The Liz Cheney getting rid of the documents, Pelosi's hand in all this, her daughter with the video. There's just so much. And it's maddening, like how people could still with a straight face sit there and totally blame this, on Trump and the GOP. And I feel like hopefully when Trump does take office, he exonerates or pardons these folks. Yeah, that's my feeling on this. I'm just tired of hearing all these. They keep going on and on about this, but video doesn't lie. There's video. It wasn't doctored. It wasn't, made up. It wasn't staged. It shows clearly that there was cooperation amongst the Capitol Police and other folks who were claiming that this, was an insurrection. I hate that word too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do we start? You've seen the other video of the people breaking in. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess I'm going to interrupt you. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm not totally blaming the right. I'm saying that there's this whole thing just goes much deeper than, that's all I'm trying to say. There was some instigation on the left side.
Okay. So Tucker Carlson's video,
Yep.
Heavily edited, right? He picked out what he wanted to show you.
Sure. Of course.
Now, you understand the situation where sometimes when you are like the Capitol Police,
Yep.
and you're heavily outnumbered,
Yep.
and you don't want to use your weapons,
Yep.
you want to control an uncontrollable situation, you might let people into certain areas where you think you can control them and block off other areas you don't want them to go. That, I believe, is why certain doors were open so they could go in there, where they could be corralled or let in. And other areas, they were blocking the doors and keeping them out. That was not something Tucker Carlson was going to portray in that light because he had an agenda. He had a narrative. Tucker Carlson is probably the biggest narrative agenda guy in the history of media. And I say this as someone who looks at Tucker Carlson as, is he in Russia right now today? Because, he was just a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how you can look at anything he says as honest reporting. He is literally an agent of the opposition.
Yeah, and each side has their agents. It just is, just like
who's the other agent?
Oh, I don't even know. Where do I start? Right? There's agents out there, big guy. Trust me. That's because they say there are. A lot of people don't like Tucker Carlson. I've heard that same description of how he handles things, and I am a fan of his. And
even Fox News won't stand behind him anymore. Only Elon Musk will at the moment.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying before, right? With Elon Musk,
Birds of a feather.
But
that's an expression.
Right. But to go to bring it back, not just going against Tucker Carlson, just the whole January 6th thing. Each side has their side of video that I'm sure was edited saying, oh, look at what these guys did, or no, look what these guys did. So it's like dueling edits. Like I believe both sides are.
Yeah, except the problem is this was happening live and everyone watched it live. We didn't need the edits to make an opinion. That all happened after the fact.
Do you think that there was any influence at all from the left? You completely don't think so?
Not at all. How do you think that was influenced by the left? They were there to stop the vote. They were there to steal the vote. They were there. How it makes no sense.
Well, again, I don't have factual proof, obviously, but
no one does. There is none.
No, but I find it hard to believe that it was all GOP. That there, just some of the stuff that Pelosi said, and again, the daughter. I'm going to go back to Pelosi.
Did you watch the daughter's documentary? It was really good.
No, I should. I need to. That's on my bucket list.
Because she talks to actual people who are Trump supporters, who were arrested, who were there, who tell their side of the story, without other influence, they're saying, hey, I went there because I wanted to support Trump. And, most of their stories are innocent, They saw the doors open, they went in, they didn't know it was going to be this big deal. And, next thing you know, they're in Pelosi's office and they thought it was all fun and games and they didn't, that I believe. That I believe that there were innocent people.
There was folks there that just went there to support.
They were caught up in the moment.
They got swept in the way. They got swept in the current. Yep. Fair enough.
But that doesn't excuse. It's the capital of the United States. You can't just break in.
Okay, so let me go.
This isn't 1812.
No. So let me ask you this.
Don't tread on me.
No. How does, I know it wasn't as severe, but then I look at I don't have the exact date. The pro-Palestine not riot. It was not a riot. What do you protests outside the White House where they're spray painting and they're damaging the fence. Why wouldn't those people arrested? I mean, that clearly is a violation of the law. Like, and big guy, I understand it's not the same thing. But these are folks. We're, excuse my language, freaking Americans. Like, and I would have got rid of all. I would have went after all of them. Like, they were spray painting, knocking things down, taking the flags down. I take that shit very serious. Like, I'm sorry. Our flags and stuff like that are sacred, and they didn't do anything. They just, okay, well, you can leave now. See, that's the kind of stuff right there that I gets my blood going, because, we have all these, they're literally trying to climb the fence. They're doing, not again to the degree of January 6th, but what they did was they were a threat. People were inside. They had a threat. They locked it down.
It's also selective, because every other pro-Palestine protest did end in arrest. Especially the college campuses.
Yeah,
it was a pretty common story that they would be arrested.
Right.
So,
but I just don't know what happened with that. But yeah, so I do have a not funny January 6th story, if I could. So when I
is this how you got the gavel?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, no. So in Florida, I'm not going to say names. All right. There was so in my insurance job when I lived in Florida, there was a doctor, female doctor, very, very well-known, popular doctor in Southwest Florida, whose husband was one of the January 6th folks who was arrested. He was the one that actually took the lector from Nancy Pelosi. He took a picture of himself with it. Now, that I'm going to say is idiotic. Okay. I mean, if you're going to do what you do, but to go in and then post it on Facebook that you have this lector of Nancy Pelosi's proudly stealing it. Now, yeah, that's wrong. But here's where my story goes. So there's another doctor in the same area with the same name as this doctor. When the news broke that this came to fruition, that, oh my God, this lady's husband was the guy, was in the news. People thought it was the other doctor. She got death threats and all sorts of stuff. And it wasn't. There was when you called her office, there was a voice on a preemptive message that said, "We are not associated with blah 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 blah," because they were getting protests and threats and stuff. And it was, they had the doctor's same identical spelling of both names. It was just that's just a story that I just wanted to share.
I love a good death threat story.
Yeah.
Bring them on anytime you want. No, but seriously, if I can be serious.
Yes. Yes.
The funny thing about both sides is there are extremists.
Yep.
You talked about the pro-Palestine movement. There's always going to be extremists. There's always going to be people who will put their own welfare, well-being, just they're going to disregard it. They're going to put their belief in this ideology. They're going to push it beyond extreme, and they're going to cause problems.
Yep.
And people are going to follow them. It's a cult of personality.
Well, just kind of like, let's go back to, when with Floyd and everything here, when the Rochester experienced some of the riots, I was here for that. And then they, and I was following on Facebook and all those sites, these are the instigators. But you're right. There was people that that were protesting peacefully, okay, then that's your right. I mean, you know me, I'm pro police, I'm pro blue. Brother and family members are police officers. So, but again, are all police officers are no? There's bad apples. Just like there's bad apples at the protest, and there's good people. They were there just to protest peacefully, and then these guys, these idiots are lighting cars on fire, and they're instigators,
Right.
So,
and that's the point I was trying to make.
Right, to your point, yes. Yep.
There's those people who will do the worst, and then there are the people who are just there because they believe in something, they want to support it, but it doesn't make them bad people who are extremists.
Correct.
So what happens is, if you're a Republican and you see all this stuff, you're immediately saying, well, Antifa was there and BLM was there. But no, I doubt it. They weren't. And if you're a liberal and you see all this stuff, you're saying, well, it was the Proud Boys were there. And, the fact, though, is on January 6th, we have the video evidence that the Proud Boys and stuff were there. There were like militia members there, the shaman with the big hat, horny thing. And, those people were there, and there is the video evidence. But as much as the Republicans want to say that Antifa was secretly behind the whole thing, there's no proof of that.
I will go on record, I know we agreed to disagree. I will say I don't believe that. I don't think Antifa was behind that. I will say I don't think they could have pulled it out. I don't think that's the case. No, I think what happened was some folks went there. Some good apples went there. A majority, I think, were good apples. You had your bad apples that went, and you may have had some stirring from the other side, I'll say. And it just, unfortunately, was a very unfortunate situation.
And this leads directly into my topic today for trending topics, Truth Commission. Truth Commissions are something that started in mostly countries in Latin America or Africa, kind of famously as ways for countries that have had major issues to then try to solve them after the fact. Famously in South Africa, after apartheid, Bishop Desmond Tutu, sorry I messed that name up, led a Truth Commission to settle reparations for apartheid. Nelson Mandela was involved. And most recently, there was a Truth Commission in Canada. It was very recent for some of the problems that the indigenous people of Western Canada suffered.
Okay.
I bring up Truth Commissions not because of the reparations, but because I think we need some truth. And I want to see a government Truth Commission. I'm tired of the back and forth. We just had debated January 6th like there was more than one answer. There isn't. There's a fact. There's a truth out there. We need it established. We need one source of truth. I'm tired of it, right? You go to any source now, you Google something, you want to know what happened. What was the story? What happened? Where do you go? Where do you find out? Scotty goes to one source, finds out something. Guess what?
Yep.
It's not the same thing I find out.
Agreed.
Who's right? Who knows? Who establishes the truth? There is no one, but there could be. I'm not saying there should be people. I've bashed AI the last few weeks, but why not AI? It's advanced. Let's let technology decide the truth. Is this a bad idea? Of course. It's going to go bad. It's going to end bad. It's going to start out the way every bad science fiction movie starts. We're going to say, AI, tell us what is true. Then we're going to say, AI, tell us what to think. And then AI is just going to tell us what to think. And then AI is going to tell us what to do. And then we're going to be slaves to AI. But the one thing that will be consistent is we'll always know the truth. And God bless it, we'll be more happy for it. No more lies, no more fake news. That's what I had to say. And Scotty, what do you think of that?
I'm all for it. I am so sorry. You're right. The truth is never as prevalent as we'd like it to be. I mean, let's just, I'm going to go with the Trump assassination. We still don't know what happened there. We don't even hear about these people anymore. We had a kid go on a roof who lived with his grandparents in a basement. I'm not going to keep going on and on. I don't like, why all of a sudden we don't talk about it anymore. We don't even hear about this kid. And then what about the guy? I forget his name. The other one that tried to assassinate Trump. The guy who was flying all over. Yeah, he was flying all over the country. He was, part of the, terrorism training. Why do we not hear about these people like that? The drones right there. Truth. What is going on? Right?
We don't know.
We don't know. You're right, Joe. I
never know.
I'm tired of watching the news. And on the right, you can't get the right answer, a straight answer.
No.
It's like
I can't tell you how many times we go to talk about a subject and we have different opinions because we're getting different
facts. Yep, correct. Yeah, but you're right. The truth. I just want the truth. Like whether that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right though. Everything you just don't get the truth about. It's always spinned or spun. It's
And election time is the worst. Watching those debates where it's just one person says one thing, the other says the other. There's never going to be any agreement on facts. What's the point?
Yep.
There is none. Hey, we got a new sponsor.
We do.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you believe it?
That's the truth.
All these sponsors are true.
Yeah. All right, who we got?
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned who we got.
Oh.
This is a new product that people are going to be very excited about. Scotty, what do you look for in a beverage?
Taste.
Okay, besides that.
Something that's healthy.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Nutrients driven,
Okay, that's good.
Yep. Energy.
Well, let me tell you about Terrible.
Okay, go ahead.
Unleash the power of the earth. Tired of the jitters? I know I am. Tired of the jitters and crashes that come with traditional energy drinks? Introducing Terrible, the revolutionary new drink that harnesses the incredible power of the earth to fuel your body and mind. Made from a unique blend of all natural minerals, Terrible provides sustained energy. Experience long-lasting natural energy without the jitters or crashes. Enhanced focus. Sharpen your mind and improve concentration for peak performance. Improved hydration. Replenish electrolytes and stay hydrated throughout the day. Boosted immunity. Support a strong immune system with essential minerals right from the very ground you walk on. Increased endurance. Power through your workouts and daily activities with renewed piss and vinegar, with only a hint of piss and vinegar taste. Terrible is sugar-free and calorie-free, made with natural flavors and all natural earth elements, free from artificial sweeteners, colors, and preservatives. Easy to prepare. Simply mix the powder with water and enjoy. Stir thoroughly. Drain twice. Filter through our patented t-shirt topper and stir again and filter again and enjoy. Experience the difference. Nourish your body with the elements of the earth. Try Terrible today, and you'll never look at the ground the same way again. Available at Big Lots, Spencer Gifts, and Woolworths, or online at samgoody.com. Wow.
Yeah. The future.
You believe that?
I don't know.
It's something.
That's the truth.
You don't make that kind of stuff.
No. So, have you tried it?
I'll say this. I've seen a lot of advertisements for these like green powdered
Yeah,
things.
tinctures. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like $100 a bag. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
This is much cheaper.
I can use the energy. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows. I've never once drank an energy drink. I've never had a Rockstar. Never had
That's incredible.
a Monster, a Rockstar. The only time I've ever had a Red Bull was in a Jaeger shot. The Jaeger bomb, they call it. But I've never had a energy drink.
I can't believe that.
Never did.
I don't know how you do that.
So it looks like it's just dirt.
No. It's minerals from the earth.
Okay. I'd like to get a sample so I can maybe report down back to the, again, I can use some energy,
You know what we'll do in a future episode? We'll
do
bring
a sample?
some terrible in. We'll try it.
Okay.
Live on there.
Just do it. I want to try. I think we should, start doing that. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to give it a shot. I mean, anything to help, better yourself. I mean, physically, mentally, let's do it.
You can even try some blue taffy on there.
Oh.
Well, maybe after the show.
Right.
You can leave.
Right.
There's an Arby 3 blocks from here. You can go hang out. Not hang out.
Right.
Keep it in.
Or stick out. Yeah. But no, we want to welcome Terrible to the family here of sponsors. So, yeah. More to come.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have to take a break. So we'll be right back with discount content is on
the waves of the ocean.
The home of William Seward, decorated for the holidays. Now's the time to take a tour. Hello again, Michael O'Brien, your getaway guy. I want to take you inside. I'm in downtown Auburn. Just look for the Getaway Guy now on Facebook.
All right. So, Big, I've got you Mighty Ducks on Thursday.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, that looks solid. Did you want the kids the kids team that match?
Yeah. They're playing the junior.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Okay, I got you down for there. All right, perfect.
Did you see what I wanted on the Friday night game?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I have that right there. All right.
I really think the Globetrotters are due to lose. It's just,
they've been on a streak. It's got to come to an end. That could be a trap game.
Yeah.
That's a trap game for them.
I didn't even think about that. They got to go drive all the way to the east. Hey.
I mean, on a bus, no less, too. I mean.
The red lights on the cameras?
Oh, whoa.
Oh, wait, whoa.
Hey, hello. Welcome back. Okay.
Scotty, take it.
Oh, okay. So we're back here on Discontent is Our Content. I'm Scotty Bender along the side, the big guy, and we're coming back from break. And what do we got next?
We have a listener question.
Oh.
This is our favorite time of the show.
Love it.
We get to interact with our fans.
Yes, right.
Scotty, let's go right to the question. I'm just guessing it's for you because everyone loves to talk to Scotty Bender. It's kind of an opportunity to interact with a famous person. Here we go. Yeah.
The guys, yes, love the show. Bender, you're the best. What do you think about the job Whoopi Goldberg had done on The View all these years? She's really held it down, right? Keep it up, guys. High-key long-time listener for life. Love y'all.
Did this guy just ask my opinion of Whoopi Goldberg on The View?
Yeah, so we've got this caller and he wants your opinion on Whoopi Goldberg.
I have to watch what I say, but I will say that she should be in jail.
Okay.
Yep. If I'd come after. The View shouldn't be on television. So The View started off as this. Again, I've never watched it. I watched The View. You know when I watched The View? The day after Trump won. That's the day I watched The View, just to see all their backtracking and all their, just the utter shock that they had of that he won. They just couldn't conceive it. But anyways, that show was started off with like women coming on the show, talking about, just women things and now it's literally a show. Every time I turn it on is just bashing and Trump and the right. It's not even, I don't know who watches that show. I can't, I don't even know who watches it. I can't imagine anybody with any brains would actually watch that show and actually, like you said, believe what they're saying, because it's all one-sided. It's full of lies. Whoopi Goldberg has really made some really bad comments that are, talk about, fact checking. They're just false. They're lies. And, here's the thing that what bothered me too was that when she called Penny a murderer, he was not tried. He was not found a murderer. So to say, oh, he murdered somebody, he didn't. He was exonerated from that charge. So that's the kind of stuff. So I loathe Whoopi Goldberg. Loathe. She just, as an actress, I used to like her. I mean, she was in some great movies. Did? Yeah, I did. I like Ghost, and she was I had no problem with her. She was great, and that's nothing with her.
Star Trek.
What's that? Star Trek. I didn't watch that. No. Was she not good?
No, she was good.
But as an actress, absolutely, her career, she's been great. But as a personal, someone giving her personal commentary, I could care less, and it's just she's full of shit.
Okay. Well, thanks, caller.
Yeah.
Good question.
Thank you.
Keep them coming.
Yeah. Just know more about Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah. Maybe Joy Behar next time.
Joy Reid.
Ooh. All right, Scotty.
Yes.
Keeping the trending topics going. You're up next. This one is Misophonia.
So this is more of a trending topic in my household. Okay.
Oh.
This is more of a personal trending topic. I don't know how much this is trending nationwide, but it is something that has caused quite a disruption in the Bender household. Misophonia is getting angry at people when you listen to them breathing or eating. It's an actual brain disorder. Okay, so okay, Bender, where are you going with this? How does this affect your household? Well, my wife. We've been married for a bunch of years, and she consistently gets angry on a dime with noises of chewing. Always correcting me. Chew with your mouth closed. Or what are you doing? What are you doing slurping over there? What are you sucking on over there? What are you chewing? And it really, I couldn't understand it. We would get in full blown arguments over this. Over this topic, and she would say to me, "Oh, it's I can't help it. I don't know. She just would basically, claim I can't help it. This is how I feel. I can't help. This drives me nuts." And at work, it happens to her. She'll be like, so I guess there was some lady next to her eating an apple, and she just literally was going to jump off the roof. But again, this is real. I started doing a little research, and this is very common. This is not like anything new. And I didn't know this actually is a brain disorder.
I just want to say what courage you have to come on this national global podcast and announce that your wife has a brain disorder.
Yes.
That is fantastic, and I think it's going to solve all your problems.
And I'm just waiting for the drug to come out. There's got to be a drug for this, a commercial, like a drug commercial. We talked about that last week, where there's a guy in the park eating an apple, and there's someone next to him that just goes absolutely, batshit, postal on him because they didn't like him chewing the apple, or the soup was too hot, so they're slurping it or chewing their gum. That or snapping your gum. If you really want to get on my wife's bad side, snap your gum a few times. You'll end up choking on it because we'll be in a store or something, and she's like, we hear that. I'm like, no, I don't hear it. Hear that over there? They're sucking their teeth. What do you mean they're sucking their teeth? How do you hear that? Anyways, but this is a real thing. I mean, I just researched this and found that this is real. And so I talked to you about it, big guy, and this is a real deal disorder. And again, she'll get over it. She'll be fine. We'll get through it, and we'll seek counseling. We'll seek what we do need to get this rectified. So thank you for letting me air this here on this national,
global.
Yeah, global on this global, platform.
I do have a solution.
Okay,
it's not a pharmaceutical solution.
Okay,
it's called headphones.
Okay.
She can wear these.
Yep.
24/7.
Okay.
Noise canceling.
Okay. Noise canceling. I was going to ask you about that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So she won't be able to hear anything, but give
I'm
it a
okay
shot.
with that. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. I have selective hearing with her anyway, so
Right.
right.
Might save your marriage.
Right. But again, just to bring awareness, because again, a lot of disorders, there's no awareness, right? I mean, that's how there's just, it goes undetected. So I just want to let you know. So the next time, any of our listeners out there, maybe in a restaurant or a social setting, or even at home with your spouse and your family, and someone might be chewing a little too loud, or maybe taking a little extra time, sucking the popsicle or something. You know what I mean? Like just try to give a little grace. Okay. Because it's not, on purpose, sometimes, and, it's a very sensitive issue, so maybe we can bring awareness and, start some sort of, awareness campaign over misophonia.
This could be a Netflix drama.
Yeah.
Bring some awareness.
Yeah.
There's been Netflix shows about road rage.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need one about, what'd you call it? Sound rage?
Yes. It's called sound rage. Yeah.
That's the next
sound
step.
rage, a neurological condition where specific sounds like chewing, breathing, or tapping trigger extreme emotional reactions such as anger or disgust.
That definitely sounds like your marriage.
Yes. Oh, yes. So,
All right.
Anyway, so there you go, folks.
Hey, talking about trending topics, Bender, did you know it's Christmas?
I did, and I love Christmas.
Oh, man. Well, for Christmas this year, why don't we maybe take it back a little?
Okay.
Do you think we could put some of this behind us? Some of this, what do we call it? The 2020 hangover, the 2020s, the COVID, what do we got? Bird flu now?
Monkeypox.
Monkeypox.
That's the new one.
The politics, just everything. Go back to a simpler time.
Yes. Like Andy Griffith.
Well, I was thinking
Mulder.
like 2006.
Right.
Remember 2006?
Vaguely.
I don't remember 2006, but
I think I was happy. I feel like that was happy then.
I don't remember anything bad.
No.
Maybe there was, but I don't remember.
I don't remember. No.
I remember 2020. I remember 2021. I remember 22. Let's go back to a time we don't remember because there was nothing memorable. There was no panic. There was no anxiety. Well, maybe there was, but we don't remember.
Right.
There was no pandemic. Politics it wasn't great, but it wasn't like this.
You could still talk to each other about it. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't even. I mean, I was just a quick segue with the folks who are out there promoting that they can't eat with their families anymore over the holidays over the Trump if they voted for Trump. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we do got to get back to a simpler time because politics really, to make it a democratic thing, we should be able to talk openly about it and not have to hate each other. That's unfortunate. And I'm embarrassed because I never got in politics up until the hate started, because that's when I started noticing it. That's a sad commentary. I didn't really pay attention to politics until all the Hillary Clinton stuff and the Trump and all that negative publicity and that's when the bickering started, and that's when it caught my attention. And that's unfortunate to say that, because I should have been more involved when things were good. The only time it caught my attention is when things were shitty and bad.
And you can't tell from these camera shots, but we're actually 50 feet apart.
Yeah.
Because we disagree on politics.
Correct.
This is the world we live in.
Yep.
It's divided. We have disease. We have pandemics. We have a lot going on. And maybe for Christmas this year, we can just focus on getting back to what matters most. Christmas Day football, cookies, family, friends.
Yep. Alcohol.
Well,
and for those out there that like to partake in that type of behavior.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's some of our listeners out there, I believe, like to have an alcoholic beverage here and there.
Okay.
Some more than others.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to my trending topic?
No, I just, you know what? I do want to wish all our fans out there, listeners, a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Regardless of what my views are, I really just want this country to get along and to really just prosper. Because at the end of the day, when it comes right down to it, big guy, I don't really deep down care who runs the country as long as they run it right and keep American interests keep it our best interests as Americans. That's all I care about. Democrat, Independent, Republican,
South African.
Yeah. But again, I don't. Yeah. I really do. I really just want to. I'm all about country and just keeping our country safe from nefarious things, outside of our control. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Absolutely. Happy New Year.
We'll be back next week for another episode. We're not done yet, though, this week.
No, we have one thing left. Yep.
We do have our traditional last segment of the show. He is Ivan the Impaler, and we have Tales of the Impaler. And this week, Scotty, we want to remember one of Ivan's personality quirks. I think, actually, they were all quirks. But, Scotty, Ivan was kind of famous for his impressions.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate they were, but he was known for his attempt at impressions.
And I would say the impressions didn't end.
No. And the thing about the impressions were they weren't like a full-blown out impression of like a voice he used. He would take certain things from an actor or somebody where he got the impression from, like a catchphrase or something, and he then would repeat it constantly in that voice. Okay, example.
For hours.
On end.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you an example. Here's my example. George Takei, right? Ivan, huge fan of George Takei. He happened to catch him on Howard Stern. Am I correct about that?
Yes.
So he really was. Ivan was not a Howard Stern fan. He didn't have XM radio. Ivan barely knew how to function with an AM FM radio in his car. But I don't know where he caught it, but he caught George Takei on Stern, who was always entertaining on Stern. George Takei always entertaining guests. But there's the one thing he would say. If Howard said something or guessed something that was a little, catching George off guard or whatever, or he found a little, out of his comfort zone, he would say, "Oh my."
Famously,
"Oh my." And Ivan apparently loved saying that. So we would be having conversations. I'm trying to be serious, and he would consistently continue going, "Oh my," like, the George Takei voice. And this wasn't really a George Takei voice, but he also incorporated a Japanese saying. He always go, "Ai," like, so, but he would,
so it would be like, we'd be in a conversation.
Yes.
And if it popped into his head to do an impression, it would start and it would not stop.
Correct. Like you said, on hours. Now, I know you have a really good example, so go ahead.
So, like, he might not do George Takei for a month.
He would just come out of the woodwork.
But then when it started, it would not end.
Many car rides we've done, miles and miles on the road together. We had to experience in a car. Yep.
So sometimes his impressions were not vocal, but physical.
Correct.
Famously, the great Khali was a 7'2" wrestler with WWE, and we were at a SmackDown taping here in Rochester. Khali was in the main event, so it was the last match of the show. And when the match ended, everyone was exiting the arena. Khali himself had a weird body shape, very top-heavy, skinny legs, and he walked very oddly, as someone of his proportion and size might. Ivan got up from his seat and began to walk like Khali. He didn't do it just from his seat to the end of the row, or just from his seat from the end of the row up the stairs. It was from his seat to the end of the row, up the stairs, through the concourse, down the stairs, across the street, through the parking garage, down the stairs, to the car, into the car, got in the car, through 13,000 people leaving the arena, stopping the car occasionally to get out of the car, walk around the car, doing the walk, getting back in the car. And then, as we're stuck in traffic on the circular ramp, getting out of the car, coming to our car, while doing the walk, and then getting back into his car. That was his impression. It was hilarious, and then it wasn't funny, and then it was funny again. And then by the time he did it on that circular ramp, we were dying. It was just incredible.
You can't make this stuff up.
I cannot imagine what other people thought.
No.
Like, what is this guy doing? Besides Great Khali.
Yeah. And he would stay in that character. There's nothing could budge. Like, you couldn't get him out of it. Like, he was committed. Once he got into a role, he was committed. Just like the George Takei. I mean, I remember car rides, hour-long car rides, and just an impression would come up, and we would hear about it the whole ride, and it would be like.
And you remember his Foster Brooks impression?
Yep.
Foster Brooks was a comedian in the 60s, 70s, and 80s whose entire act was pretending to be drunk. And if Ivan started that character, you knew you were in for a ride.
That's right. Fasten your seatbelts, because fans, it was a roller coaster ride. But there's a lot of other impressions. I mean, but those are two that I always remember. But yeah, he did a lot of different. But I guess the whole the summary of this whole thing is that he just got into it, and you didn't know when it was going to stop. Normally most people would do an impression, you're over and done with it, right? It just kept going and going and going. And you're right, it would enter those phases. Funny, then it was like, oh, annoying, stop doing it. Then it would gain traction, it's funny again. And it just kind of, it went through a bunch of different emotions.
Sometimes you watch a show like a Family Guy or a South Park, and you see that kind of humor where jokes keep going and going, and you kind of see like, Ivan had that sense of humor, a Monty Python, David Letterman sense of humor.
Yep.
And you sometimes lose track of the fact, like he was like a genius, and he had that sense of humor. He knew something might not be funny the second or third time, but boy, man, that ninth time, it was going to kill.
It took off. It took off, right. Persistence, you know what I mean? But you're right, though. It would just start off in what funny, and then it would be like, okay, knock it off, and then you couldn't really tell him to knock it off, and then he would just continue to do it, and then it finally just ran its course. But you went through all these different funny, not funny, haha, and then he was something. But the Great Khali, what a great story! What a great story for Great Khali.
So, wrapping up, what are we looking forward to this week?
What's going on? Just the holidays, work-wise, I'm off, not working this week. Took the time off for the holidays, got some family coming in, and just enjoying. So I have been in Florida. I think I've mentioned this on the show. I'm from Rochester, but I've lived in Florida for the last 5 years. So this is like my first Christmas back in about almost 4 or 5 years now. So looking forward to that, and just enjoy it, because being in Florida, I didn't have a lot of family down there, so it was by ourselves. But now again, looking to just enjoy the week.
Nice.
How about you?
Well, I was thinking about a colonoscopy, but maybe not. Maybe do that.
Remember,
later.
How often do you move your bowels, not balls? Yeah. So just keep that in mind out there.
I saw the Savannah Bananas are coming to St. Louis. Do you have a lot? We'll talk later.
Oh, hang on. Right here, buddy.
Yeah. What do you think? +7?
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Okay. All right.
Might be able to get you a special rate.
Oh.
Yeah. A special line for my top customers.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Fans is right.
Happy holidays.
To you.
All right. Fans, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And everyone have a great Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. and all that other fun shenanigans. So we'll see you next time here on Discontent is Our
Content.
And I feel like I'm in jail.